Questions, you've got questions. Hey everybody, it's me again. I don't know, I just see people in YouTube videos sometimes doing that, like that makes them, I don't know, high energy, peppy, something. Back at you with another exciting edition of me babbling into a camera. Probably I have peanut butter in my teeth, and there's definitely a circular saw somewhere in the background. I don't know if you hear that. But whatever. I will try not to knock on my desk or anything that makes my microphone mysteriously go really quiet like I did in the last two videos. Oh, and before I get to this set of questions here, I just want to take a moment of silence to allow the one person who follows me around YouTube specifically to unlike all of my posts before they could have even listened to anything. I just want to give them a moment to do that now. So, okay. Mark writes, I have a question related to your recent JV posts. I should post in there in the comments, I know. If you want me to, so you can easily publicly respond to it, I will. I've been thinking about death. Nothing new. Here is something unoriginal that I wrote the other day. When a person dies, the identity of self dies. There is one energy, not individual energies that are each part of the whole. Identity of self contradicts this, implying there is individual energy and that I am individual energy. My physical body makes this seem true. My physical body is temporary. What happens to identity when the body is gone? All things are eventually gone except energy. Energy is never absent. When the body is gone, so is the illusion of individual energy. What makes this energy identifiable as me without a body to represent it? So that's what he wrote, and then he goes on to say, there are undoubtedly some questionable word choices here, but what I'm really curious about is the complete lack of identification of self. Do you ever comfort yourself with the thought of being reunited with someone who's dead when you die? That can't happen if there is no identity of you or them. Ultimately, I'm ready for the death of ego, so this doesn't bother me so much. I just wonder if there is a moment of transition like your experience suggests. Then again, your body wasn't dying, but yourself had the option. If your body dies, I assume, there is no transitional choice, just one energy. No memory or past or self. I think there's a question in there, but on that note, who cares? Thanks for doing what you do. I don't know anyone else who wants to think about this. Oh boy, there's a lot there. Burping. So one question is, and I know you weren't really asking me, you were just asking it as a for instance, but do I want to see anyone when I die that I know in this life? Not really. No offense to anyone, it's just, wow, I guess I never have really thought about, like, wow, I really want to be with, so-and-so forever. So I guess I don't think that way. But this is a very Eastern way of looking at things, right? We die back into the one energy. And I'm going to tell you the one thing that I don't think any guru on this planet has ever said, no spiritual Sherpa has ever said before. And it's probably the most basic and amazing truth that there is, which is that I don't know, because I haven't died. Yes. But if I think about it hard enough, I think, well, first of all, me personally, I look at near-death experiences as something real, whatever they ultimately represent. People report them, and they all seem to have the same several flavors, and they make me wonder, in this whole sense of building an afterlife, what might that be doing? What might religions be doing besides controlling the masses and keeping people not fearful in the here and now? Well, they might also be building a construct that you die into, right? Maybe, I don't know. Because some of these near-death experiences have the same flavor no matter what religion or atheism even that the person experienced in life. Seems to not matter so much in death. So, okay, what am I getting at here? Well, it's basically, the question is, do we die into more necessary illusion? This illusion, look, the fundamental truth is the oneness thing, right? So if that's the fundamental truth, then that's what we are, whether we realize it now or not. And that may hold over into death. If you believe in some sort of being waved on into an afterlife, maybe that happens. If you believe in reincarnation, I don't know, maybe that happens. Or maybe they happen regardless of your belief, because maybe there are, once again, the word necessary illusions that happen in death, as with life. And so maybe there is this sense of retaining your ego self, or maybe the ego self is the thing that sticks around and haunts the place, if you're ever so fortunate to be attached to a house or something. I don't know. I'm just saying I hold open the option of necessary illusions in death, and the ability to travel around as your sense of self, to maybe even alternate dreamlike realities. Who knows? Who knows? But at the end of the day, none of those are real either, in the same way that this isn't real. But to say that they're not real, it doesn't lead to nihilism or depression. It's like, it just means that it's more manifestation of, the oneness or the intelligence prior to all things. It's just more of that manifestation of things, of experience, of whatever that you would be dying into, or that you would be transforming into. So, and might they be higher blissful states or lower hills or whatever? Sure. But either way, it ain't it. It's not the thing. And I think you've got the thing here. I think what you're talking about is the thing. Now, here's the sort of trick of it, is, when we talk about dying and becoming, that oneness state, or dying back into that oneness state, again, it's like me traveling through, a slit in my spine out into the universe or whatever. That's not actually happening. Like, that again would be part of the necessary illusion. Or are you saying like it sort of vacuums you into it? It's like you have no choice in the matter. You're, boom, instantly back to square one-ness. Either way, it's like, I guess when I see it in words, it implies almost a transformation that might seem scary, or has the potential to be very, very frightening, to lose your sense of identity, to lose your sense of self. Now, in the so-called enlightenment experience, you lose your sense of self for the amount of time it takes, all of a millionth of a second, for this other more you than you energy to go, aha, I am free at last. But once it's free at last and maneuvering fully in the brain, you're triggered again. You're you again, the same but different. You're you 2.0, right? Does that happen in this? Do you become part of a multi-hydra-headed oneness energy beast? Does Freddy Krueger lift up his shirt and the soul of your screaming inner child is there embedded in his skin going, let me free? No, I don't think so. I think that it's, even though in words it looks like it could be frightening, or it could be the loss of yourself, I don't think it needs to be that, even if the mask never comes back. Because what you're really doing is ripping off the mask to reveal who you really are. It's the ending of Scooby-Doo. And you would have gotten away with it if it, hadn't been for the meddling kids. So it's a tough question, obviously, to even perceive, because if you don't know yourself as that underlying energy, as the ground of being in which all is manifesting, If you don't know yourself as that, and you talk about dying and losing you and becoming that, it sounds scary, or at least to me, it sounds like frightening, but it's not. I mean, because it's who you really are. And I guess in the same way that becoming an adult maybe sounds frightening, and it's not. It just kind of sucks. So you didn't really have a question. I don't really have an answer. So that works out well. But like I said, I think that you've ultimately, I think you've got a handle on the ultimate thing. And then the question is really, is there an intermediate between this and the ultimate thing? Or do you go from this immediately into the ultimate thing and then you have no choice? And I think there are intermediates. If you're asking me, I think there are intermediates that I don't think enlightenment, if you want to call it that, I don't know what word you want to use. I don't think understanding the full scope of what a human is comes to you at death. I think this notion of all answers are revealed. By the way, I'm fiddling my mouse so that my screen comes back up. If you see me doing this. In any event, I don't think that all of the secrets are revealed at the end of the game. I think if you don't get it in life, however much you get is what you get dying. Plus some, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think you're going to die into something that you can't comprehend, or that all of a sudden you'll comprehend everything. Because you know what, the funny thing about that comprehending everything moment is people say that, right? They sometimes, even in near-death experiences, they talk about, and suddenly I, knew everything. Well, but then they can't translate that into anything useful. So I wonder if they actually did, or if they just had the feeling of that, in the way that in a dream you might have the feeling, I just knew. Even if I can't put it into words, I just knew. Then you didn't know. I mean, it's tempting to say that you are at one with that knowledge, and therefore you're not remembering anything. You don't. There's nothing to recite. In other words, you are that, and maybe that's it. And maybe when you come out of that, you are thatness, that you are that state. Then it's like, uh-oh, suddenly there's that division again between you and knowledge, and now you've got to try to translate, and quick, you got to remember before it goes away. Oh, it just all went away. Probably something like that is true. I don't know. I'm completely useless on this, except to say that, again, I see no reason, and I see all evidence pointing... I see no reason against, and I see all evidence pointing to the notion that there are things in which you can die into that are not it, that are not the big death. And so in that way, I guess I can straddle a fence and have religions have their cake, and I can eat it too, however that works. All right, I hope that answered nothing. You're welcome.